Shalom, my dear friends. I'm Ora Korazim. As the chairperson of Wizo Israel and former chairperson of Wizo Tel Aviv, Wizo has always been the center of my life and my family's life. Just like me, you live and breathe Wizo. We, the substance from which Wizo is made, what we call the soul players. We give our heart and soul to Wizo, but we also take things to heart. The year 2021 has affected me deeply. It was a complicated year with Corona, military operation, lockdowns, and uncertainty. Not the year we had dreamed of, but one that forced us to take stock and redefine our dreams. A turbulent, busy, and emotional year, at times frustrating and annoying. Exceptional achievements alongside complex challenges. A sense of pride alongside concern. 2021 was many things to us. Boring, it definitely wasn't. But at the end of this challenging year, I can say loudly and proudly, we have broken records and conquered new peaks. The scope and volume of our activity, diverse of multicolored, surpassed the level of previous years and set a new standard of achievements. We created an environment of immersive action, of team spirit, and in this vein, we have overcome the immense challenges of COVID-19. Before looking at any quantitative metrics, our measurements of success is what our hearts tell us. Fostering a sense of belonging, engaging with the field, a desire to work together, and increase the number of women, girls, and children that receive Wizo's services. The Wizo Israel leadership and its network of volunteers are committed to a shared vision, mission, and value systems. We have a clear moral compass of what we want to achieve together, a more equal and just society. We are proud of our wonderful team spirit, our internal flame, and the joy we take in doing good. For a voluntary social movement, these are the foundations for success. They are our core. Undeniably, our branches were a hive of activity this year, and for a 101-year-old movement, that is concerned with maintaining its vitality and relevance. What we could be more heartwarming than seeing a happy and active branch full of initiatives, always striving to get ahead. These volunteers, these Wizo members, they touch my heart. They are Wizo Israel's pride and joy. They breathe life into the community, create new worlds and change lives. Their hard work and effort has been recognized frequently by external stakeholders. Besides our immense sense of pride, they also serve to remind us of the important work we do and its impact on Israeli society. The volunteers in Wizo Israel are at the forefront. They are the initiators and executors of many educational programs that assist women and girls, legal aid bureau, second-hand clothing shops, and more. The passion and dedication motivates me to recruit more partners. I have made this my primary goal. Reinforcing our ranks will help us to implement our elements of our vision, such as positioning Wizo as a central player in the life of the community, fulfilling the different needs of women and girls at every crossroad in their lives, to encourage young engagement, to open our membership ranks to all sectors of Israeli society, and to include men who identify with our modus vivendi and our objectives. When I talk about our high-intensity work, it is reflected in all areas of our activity. And as the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding. New ventures, core programs, lobbying in the Knesset, media prominence, volunteers recruitment, and fundraising. The Bigudit second-hand clothing shops that have undergone a makeover and have been transformed into eye-catching boutiques increased their monthly revenue from 830,000 new Israeli shekels in 2019 to over 1 million shekel in 2021, despite the corona limitations. We have reinforced our external relations with businesses, local municipalities, welfare authorities, universities, celebrities, and other influential individuals, and have created wonderful collaborations. Some of our joint ventures with leading retailers like Schufelsaal and Superfarm, Keter Plastic and eBay gained national media coverage and were seen as a great success. In the field of legislation, we initiated and advanced an important bill advocating for therapy for violent men who have had restraining orders issued against them. For me, the approval of this essential bill is a sweet ending to an important challenge, a reward for the hard work of both our professionals and my personally. It will not cause violence against women to disappear, but it is an important step which will greatly reduce the scope of this unbearable phenomena. After a great investment of time and effort, the thought we brought real progress and create an important change elevates my spirit. It is a dream come true and paved the way for future changes. Our specialized program, Pninim, gives unprivileged children the chance to acquire skills in science and technology. This program has gained momentum and we operated 30 groups in the past year. Another program for children, A Good Hour with a Child, was revived thanks to the mobilization of 200 volunteers this year. Wizo also steered this year International Day of the Girl Child Conference on the innovative topic of money matters and entrepreneurships. We continue to operate our nationwide programs for women in the process of divorce or separation, those laid off during the pandemic, after childbirth, preparing for retirement, and more. We developed a unique and groundbreaking program for women and children in the cycle of violence called Safety Net. We operate this program in 6 centers. To date, around 100 women and 160 children have benefited from this program. In our centers, where we don't operate this program, our volunteers give individual support to women who have left the shelter. In 2022, we are planning to implement the Safety Net program in another 4 centers. Another important achievement this year is the extensive renovation of one of our shelters for women victims of violence. Thanks to the generosity of Wizo USA, the Weinberg Foundation, Doron and Angela Kalinko from Sydney, Anita and Yitzhak Friedman, and the Jewish Women Association Hong Kong. Wizo Israel list of activities is long and cannot mention them all. We operate 40 branches, 50 second-hand clothing shops, 30 legal aid bureau, after-school programs, shelters for women victims of violence, centers for girls at risk, Center for the Prevention and Treatment of Violence in the Family, hotlines, warm homes, thousands of core programs, and thousands of volunteers. All these fell under Wizo Israel mantle and responsibility and part of our vibrant social action program. Within this world, we can also find an incubator for the social entrepreneurship, exhibition for women artists, coaching for small businesses owners, and much more. All this in response to the evolving needs. Changes are important. An organization needs occasionally to think ahead and plan for its future. Wizo did it this year by implementing the strategic plan. In the summer of 1920 in London, Wizo was established by Zionist women from different countries in the world. 3 days later, in Jerusalem, local Zionist women established the Hebrew women's organization, Istadrut Nashim Ivriyot. This organization merged with World Wizo in 1933, and the Wizo Federation of Palestine was created. Since then, Wizo Israel has carried the torch on women's issues and has been the executive arm of all activity in this field on behalf of the entire Wizo organization. In 2022, Wizo Israel will transfer this great and important responsibility to World Wizo, including the division of children, girls, and youth in the community. It is a heavy responsibility, and I wish us all success. For me, engaging in the fight for gender equality and eliminating of violence against women has become a significant and central part of my public activity. It has shaped my worldview and my commitment to improve the Israeli society. I have learned that violence against women is not only about physical violence. It can also be a quiet force without any tangible signs, even legal. It is always about the strong against the weak. It is always ongoing and not a once-off occurrence. It is intended to assert control. Each blow is more painful precisely because it comes from within the family. The helplessness is greater precisely because there is nowhere to run. Wizo plays a major role in leading the nationwide struggle to eliminate violence and sensitive enough to recognize its characteristics and to combat the phenomena wherever it arises. I would like to thank my fellow Wizo Israel executive members who face every challenge and task as a united and steadfast force. Rina Keren, Eti Atias, Bina Ofek, Aviva Kubo, Chana Miretsky, Chana Manor, Nili Feller, and Druti Samnun. I would also like to thank our president, Esther Moore, and the members of the World Wizo Executive, headed by Anita Friedman, and our CEO, Mira Mines, for their cooperation. Thank you to all our beloved chairpersons and volunteers who do sacred work. Special thanks to Sarit Arbel for 16 years of dedicated services at Wizo Israel, and to the other directors, Rivka Neumann, Edith Gindi, and Shani Cohen. Thank you to the women in our headquarters and to all those who have contributed to our joint enterprise, and especially to you, our partners across the seas, whose assistance and generosity have enabled us to carry out such an extensive scope of activity. Thank you all very much. I wish all of us a successful 2022, which will be interesting only for good reasons, cloudy only in the sky, and that we all get to meet again soon here in Israel. Thank you.